Afternoon, everyone. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. I'm David Villarreal. I'm from Barcelona, and today I'm going to talk about the heritage competing for attention. It's a mix between storytelling and technology, and for me, is very interesting. First of all, Katerina present to me, but I prefer to see to explain who I am. I'm David Villarreal. I'm from Barcelona. I have now currently two projects. One of them is the visual company. We make different uh, spots and social media content, and overall for social media, yes, communities. On the other hand, my second project is a spin-off that we started 2 years ago. The name is Trendia. Trendia is a platform focused on trends that we analyze that we analyze social trends on Instagram. And also I'm teacher, I'm the professor in the digital society degree program in the University of the Fundació Universitària del Bages. And that's all, more or less. When I was a child, when I was 3 years, my father's have a baby, another baby, my sister Alba. Um, in this moment, it was I lost my my uh, yes, it's when my sister was born, and I had to compete for the attention for my parents. This personal experience is the mirror the challenge facing culture and heritage today. In a world of infinite content, even the most valued stories must find to be heard. Um, and this is the main area that I want to talk. The core idea is attention economy, because today all of them we are working to take the attention from everyone. It's not only the heritage does compete. Heritage does not compete with others equipments, other cultural institutions. We compete with Netflix or social media or global brands. So everyone is uh, is fighting for cap the tension. And attention have a problem. Is the most limited resource, because human cognitive capacity remains fixed while information grows exponentially every day. So there are the scarcity principle. Um, this type of resources, you cannot be manufactured or stored. It must be earned moment by moment. So the agenda of today that we will talk is the problem, because we are fighting all together for the tension. We understand the tension economy, what is, and why heritage projects struggle to be seen in a world of information overload. And after we talk about the mindset shift, moving from the preservation to experience, that we see that it's very important to communicate with emotion. So, for example, through the storytelling. And the third part will be the core idea and trends. In this part, we explain what technologies are disruption to the communication and the environment. And we talk about five key trends that shaping now and the heritage communication today, but this is global, so it's extrapolable to other areas. And and the last part, we talk about we present three case studies, in fact, the real world example of a strategic frameworks for effective heritage communication. So the attention economy appears in through this man, Herbert Simon. Um he he was an economist that said the wealth of information creates a poverty of attention. This is very actual, because we live in a world that is overload of information. So there are too much content.
Overload, c'est général.
Philip, sorry, I hear you.
Excuse me.
No problem, no problem. The exponential and the overload, yes, too much content, not enough attention. The problem is the exponential content creation. Um, Now with the AI, generative AI, there are more information and more video and photos than ever, and yes, and this is a problem. In YouTube, every minute we create or we upload more than thousands of hours to YouTube every single minute, and this is just in a platform. And in the other hand, we detect that the attention deficit. Human attention retains finite, while content grows exponentially. So we have limits. This is very obviously, but it's important to remember. So the reality time. We our reality of our daily digital habits is this. We spend 3 or 4 hours per day checking the mobile phone. We check the mobile phone over five 50 times per day. And this is a constant connectivity that we consuming information and compete for attention. So this produce digital fatigue. So we have limits, we said before, and this information overloads occurs when input excess processing capacity. So digital fatigue is increasing in the society now, and the cognitive overload impacts to our decisions, and processing capacity is extended. And what is coming in this scenario? The content production is in the middle of the revolution. The AI is changing all the process that we think and create and make the content. In fact, content creation is cheaper than ever before. AI tools, smartphones, and digital platforms have democratized production, enabling anyone to create and distribute high-quality content at minimal cost. Um, the creator economy expands. There are more voices than ever, and they are competing for the same attention. And in the other hand, um, we see that the digital well-being movement every time is expanding. The growing number of people are actively reducing the screen time is growing, and the digital detox trends, app limits, and mindful technology use are reshaping how audience engage with content and media. So the tension becomes scarier. And the question to understand the communication challenge is more content, better content than ever. This is very important because every time the content that we see is better, because there are more technology to produce with better content, but the attention is a resource very limited, so we have less attention. So it's a perfect storm where the competition is increasing exponentially, while available attention is decreasing dramatically. This equation defines the modern communication landscape. So every organization or company including cultural heritage institutions, must navigate this reality where standing out requires more than quality. It demands strategic visibility. Without the problem that the heritage communication have in three points is we have a very value um, heritage projects across the Europe, but sometimes these are invisible. We have to spend and invest to the strategic communication part for to be visible in this world that is very noisy. This is the first idea. The second is communication is essential. Quality and historically significate alone are not enough. With a strategic communication, heritage remains hidden. So we have to communicate to be visible. And the visibility gap, the tension common economy, even the most significant heritage sites struggle to compete for audience awareness and engagement. Um, sorry, sorry. Aquí. And why this happens? So we said we have limited communication resources, the technical and complex language. Sorry. The other problems that we have in the heritage communication is that we have a limited communication resources. So sometimes the organization don't prioritize to communicate yes, like a thing to do very important. And the other problem that we find is the technical and complex language. This problem we find in other sectors also. For example, in the technological sector is very common, but this happens also in the heritage. Maybe sometimes we sound academic or specialist terminology, and this type of words creates barriers that disconnect the heritage from the general audience. And the other idea is the weak emotional connection. We have to sometimes we give facts and dates and don't move people without emotional. So we have to reason, and heritage fails to capture hearts and minds if only said the numbers or the facts. So it's very important the emotional part. And the last idea is we have good projects, but poor communication. Excellent research and preservation work remains invisible when the communication is an afterthought rather than a poverty. The opportunity. Uh, we detect four ideas that are the opportunity in this sector. For example, all of our heritage is very visual, is rich imagery and architectural beauty. It's very visual, and this is a good luck for the sector. It's emotional because there are a lot of stories around around the architectural or the museums or the spaces or the or the heritage. Um, these emotional stories deep connections to human experience, and the other is authentic. All of these stories are genuine and rooted in the history. And the final idea is the identity. Um, it's very clear that the heritage is very related with the place and the culture and the belonging feelings. So the mindset shift is we have to change the preservation to experience. So this means the heritage is not longer just about protecting the past. It's about creating meaningful and immersive experience that bring history to life for modern audience. The experience is another trend that we have to apply to our strategies after we see in more details. From information to emotion, we have to give or create or explain stories. Emotional storytelling creates lasting connections and transform passive visitors into engaging advocacies. And we are in a new paradigm for heritage. This shift requires rethink how we communicate cultural value. Experience and emotion are the currencies of the tension of economy. The experience economy. This is the second key that I want to explain because it's very important. Um, the experience are the district. Bueno, here there are a sentence. The experience are districts from service as a service are from goods. The experience economy is the people don't pay for information. Before it works, but now is not a trend. The trend is pay for the experience, for to live something different. It's not only for the access. And here and this point, I have to add that the heritage sites must transform for passive information providers into active experience creators to capture attention and create lasting value. And this is a good luck for the sector because our equipments like museums or yes, or like this are very plausible to live and a good experience there. And this is on demand. The audience wants today has fundamentally and change it. Less information, more experience. People want to feel something, and memory creates value. So if we have to fight to the over information that we live, maybe we have to create more events or experience that will be interesting to live. The core idea. We have to mix a combination between the storytelling, that means create meaning of purpose and create emotional connection, creates lasting memory. Stories are how we make sense of the world of heritage in the one hand, and the other hand, we have to mix with the technology, creates visibility and reach, creates access for all audience, create scalability across platforms. Digital tools amplify heritage communication. So if we mix the storytelling and the technology together, they create a very memorable and differentiate heritage communication. And this is the key, the combination, because communication today requires both storytelling, because this is remaining on the mind of the people in the one hand, and the other hand the technology, because this technology is is the that create this impact. The why storytelling and what is storytelling? Uh, a lot of us, we maybe you don't know that what is storytelling, but storytelling is very easy. Is to tell a story with a beginning, with a central part and the final, and and storytelling have a power that creates meaning. For example, stories transform raw information into meaningful narrative that resonates with the audience and create lasting understanding. Or creates emotion. The emotion is very important because the information um, connects with your with your memory and is Yes, and creates this connection with the memory, and is very important. The stories evoke feelings that facts alone cannot achieve. And the second point connects with the third point, that creates memory, because stories are this mix between meaning and emotion, and this creates memory to our information. Stories are how we make sense of the world. Um, what we feel, we remember, and memory creates lasting value. So this is why storytelling or tell stories are very important to applying when we communicate our equipments or heritage or museums or like this. So we have to add the technology that we said, because the technology amplifying this feeling. In the first, technology creates visibility because we use the digital tools that make heritage project discoverable to global audience. For example, so through the social networks or the yes, or the newsletters or or websites, and this break geographical and temporal barriers to reach new visitors. The other idea is that create access. Technology enables everyone anywhere to experience cultural heritage through digital platforms and virtual tours. The other is create scalability. One piece of digital content can reach millions simultaneously, multiplying communication impact exponentially, um, and creates immersion. For example, another trend, um, virtual reality or augmented reality or interactive experience transform passive viewing into active engagement with cultural heritage. So these other trends are yes, are very interesting because it creates new types of storytelling and new types of experience to connect with our audience. So the combination, the synergy, is when the magic happens. When the storytelling meets technology and heritage communication becomes powerful and lasting. Technology without meaning don't have sense, sincerely, because digital tools alone are empty vessels without narrative and emotional depth. Technology fails to create lasting connection with audience, and the storytelling without visibility sincerely don't have a sense. Even the most compelling stories remain visible without the reach and accessibility that technology provides. So the mix, the combination together is a very strong communication. The combination creates the combination creates communication that it is both memorable and differentiate, reaching audience and touching their hearts. Now, I'm going to present five trends that are working very good in the communication sector, and this is the first one. The experience. I explained it before, but I'm going to explain with more detail. Experience over information. This is relatively new because yes, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, after or 5 years ago, after the pandemia, the experience gets more impact, and the people is preferring to live something that to read or watch information. People remember experience far more than they remember information, because we explain it, that have the emotional engagement that create lasting impressions that the facts alone cannot achieve. The other is experience drive engagement. So immersive experience capture attention and hold it longer when the audience actively participate, they form deeper connections with the heritage content. And the third idea is the experience drive sharing. Memorable experience become stories people want to share. This is one of them. The second trend is story driven, so storytelling. Narrative create connections, stories build emotional bridges between heritage and audience, creating personal and relevant that facts alone cannot achieve. Simplify complexity. This is very important because we have to connect emotionally with our audience. So we have to simplify the complexity. The narrative structures transforms complex historical and cultural information into accessible and engaging content that audience can easily understand. And the third idea that I said before is the stories are more memorable. Research shows stories are remembered up to 20 times more than data alone. Narrative creates lasting impressions that driven action. The third trend is digital immersion. Um, for example, in the museums, becoming hybrid environments through the technology with virtual reality or augmented reality experience are transforming how audience engage the cultural heritage. In interactive content creates deeper connections, turning passive visitors into active participants. Heritage spaces are evolving into hybrid environments where physical and digital worlds merge seamlessly. The, and this connects with the authenticity. This is another trend, trust drive engagement in the attention economy. So the key is users trust authentic content more than corporate message. And this slide, I would to add that, for example, in our production company, we see that a lot of our brands or customers are starting to create or directly they say to us if we can make videos without camera, only with the mobile, because with the mobile are more authentic the content. So the people now connects with the authenticity, not with the perfection. In an era with information overload, the things that are genuine, the voices that are genuine, um, are that make the connection with the audience. Here there are 92% of customers trust recommendation from individuals over brands. This is very important also. The people prefers uh, talk with the individual or the person that a brand. For example, in this point, I would to add that if you work with influencers or people that have a lot of followers on social media, it helps to your brand to explain your story or your message or something. For heritage communication, that this means leveraging Israeli stories, local voices, and authentic experience to build credibility and engagement. And yep. And the trend five is hyper targeting. This is very interesting because um, marketing is not longer about the product you make, but about the stories you tell. That means that the different audience need different message. After I show you an example, a real example in the hyper target. But this is very important because there are too many content in the in the sea, and we have to concrete and make the segmentation because not there are a lot of big audience. The segmentation increase effectiveness, targeted messaging to families, scholar, tourism, and locals create deeper engagement and a stronger connection with heritage. This idea is because you have to create campaigns or message thinking with the segmentation and stories over products. Modern marketing prioritize emotional storytelling over feature-based promotion. Heritage naturally excels at this approach. So we don't have to sell products, we have to sell stories, and inside of the story, there are the project. For example, here there are a case study, Mont Saint Benet. Mont Saint Benet is a cultural and hospitality complex that combines a medieval monastery, a hotel, 3 restaurants. There are family activities and business events. Instead of create a one general campaign, we develop a highly fragmented communication strategy based on micro-targeting. We make maybe 2,000 or 3,000 types of videos segmented for the products, for the stories, for the audience. We make different contents for families, couples, food lovers, cultural visitors, and all this campaign we expand it through the Facebook, Instagram, or the other social networks. And this case study connects with the economy tension. The people have less have a few time to see your message. Hyper targeting. We want to impact to concrete people, experience economy. We develop stories um, that you can visit. And the other is the story-driven communication. We explain a little the stories through all this content to connect to the targets. This is directly connected with the idea of hyper-targeting and the fragmentation of attention. We produce a large amount of audiovisual content adapted to each audience, platform, moment, language, all. This strategy reflects one of the key ideas of the attention economy. People only pay attention to connect that feels personally relevant. By combining storytelling, emotional experience, and hyper-segmentation, the campaign creates strong engagement and more effective communication. This is about being relevant to the right audience. This is the key. This is about being relevant to right audience. The second example is Museu del Barroc de Catalunya. This is a new museum that yes, this is a new museum. We make a story-driven communication. In this case, we develop one campaign with a story that connects with the main target. The narrative concept is a young girl enters the museum and the Baroque artworks come to life around her. Inspired by the fantasy storytelling traditions, this approach transforms static exhibitions into immersive emotional journeys that captive visitors. Here there are the video. I don't know if I can share. One second. Okay, I'm going to share directly with YouTube. Sorry. Okay. The idea was very simple.
El barroc pren vida a Manreses. Museu del Barroc de Catalunya.
The idea was very easy. Is that the main target audience was families and yes, families and childs and this, and we inspired in the Harry Potter when the Harry Potter arrived to Hogwarts the first time, and he saw the pictures on the wall, and they are alive. This was the main idea that inspired us, and the other idea was the Night at the Museum, the film, when at the night the museum gets alive. So with this reference, we create this little video, and after we make a experience layer. So we create the museum nights. Evening events transform the museum into a living space. A special after hours access creates exclusivity and attracts new audience seeking unique cultural experience. We create also concerts and live events. Live music performance within gallery spaces create powerful emotional connections, and Baroque music along Baroque art amplifies the sensory experience for visitors. And the main idea, we create memorable visitor experience. These experimental layers turn passive viewing into active participation. Visitors become part of the story, creating memories that extend far beyond the museum walls. And the third part, the case study, is Trendia. Trendia is a software for analyze social trends in sorry, it's my dog. Social trends in real time in Instagram. These platforms analyze emerging visual trends, audience interest, content performance, cultural patterns, and engagement behaviors in specific communities. So we apply all this data to the intuition to be more impactful. Instead of relying only on intuition, Trendia helps brands and cultural institutions understand what is audience are paying attention for right now. That allows us to personalized campaigns can improve engagement significantly compared to generic communication. And according to different marketing studies, the personalized campaigns can significantly improve the engagement rates. The audience segmentation increases the communication effectiveness, and the data-driven content strategies can improve campaigns performance and reduce wasted communication efforts. In the attention economy, understanding audience behavior is becoming as important as creating good content. And here, if you want to try free Trendia, is available through the website Trendia.IA, and you can try free 7 days. So the frameworks, the final is we have to integrate the storytelling and the technology, combines the different tools that the technology give us to empower our stories and create a meaningful connections to amplify the heritage stories and across the different platforms. Remembering that we have to hyper targeting the campaigns. It's very important to prioritize the immersive experience, designing emotional and sensory experience that transform passive visitors into engaged participants. we have to segment their audience. We have to think that what wants our audience and tailor the messaging for different audience groups to increase relevance, and this produce more engagement and is more effective. And the last idea is we have to measure and adapt the strategies. It's very important to track the impact metrics and continuously refine the communication approach based on data insights. That's the presentation. Thank you for your attention. After I will share the presentation if you want to see again. And if you want to make some questions, I'm here to hear and answer if I can. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I think we have a few questions in the chat if you'd like to start from these questions. And then, of course, if you'd like to speak and ask questions, you can also open your mic and your camera.
Okay, I'm reading.
Thank you
Yes.
for this nice presentation. As last time we mentioned, it will be, in my opinion, better to have to share your presentations, even the previous one, if it's possible, to read it and to get more insight into this interesting field.
Thank you, Nikolai. Yes, I will send you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. And if it's possible, Katarina, to do the same with the previous one or the record. I think it's
We will
very...
share all presentations and recordings after the session. So please,
It's
have
good
some
just
patience and you will receive everything.
Because it's also about dissemination. If you allow us to disseminate to our teams, to other people, it's all about networking and now getting more and more involved into the project. I participated in some projects related to heritage as well, like ahead, and it's very, very good to consider different layers of heritage. I even wrote a book, PhD thesis on the heritage in my country, the Slavic heritage. And I think I understand what is here presented. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, I see that the message, why only 239 views per 2 years, that I showed the spot before. This is not the real viewers. This is our video that we publish in our page, in the agency page. So it's not the link of the client. Also, I have to explain that this video also we adapt to the television. Yes, to the television, and wasn't on TV during 2 or 3 months.
Hello, David. Can I make
Hello,
a question?
Mark.
Hola, David. No, I just wanted to know a little bit how do you in a museum, how do you micro target? Because I understand in a communication campaign, but we do, in our case, we do interactive experiences. We are already working for a couple museums. And the problem in expositions is that the age range is depending on the theme, no? If it's no sé, Olot, l'Espai Cràter, or if it's a national museum, no? Do you know how we could do it? A proposal. Thank you.
I explain how we did. We did it with, for example, Mont Saint Benet. First of all, we detect how many tickets we are selling, and we prioritize what is more interesting to sell. So, for example, if we are selling to families or selling to intern tourism, and families give more revenue to our company, we prioritize to create content for the families. We
Okay,
have to
okay.
prioritize. First of all, we have to have the data, classify, and after prioritize.
Okay, yes, it has sense. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
C'est Philippe, merci. Thank you for your presentation. Very brilliant presentation. And I am very inspired by your presentation for my project. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. If you want to do the last question.
Think, if it's possible to ask something about let's say, languages you use. How do you transfer the meaning, convey the meaning in the national languages? Because it's always a problem. Not all the people in these segments of tourists now are proficient in English now, and always this language adaptation. I think it's good for conveying the right meaning. Or we want to do something like this to promote the idea we speak your language, and for tourism to give to each group, for instance, a group from Spain come to Romania. We have Spanish guides, Spanish-speaking guides, no? And this is the question, no?
I don't know if I understand very, very well, but the question is, Nikolai, is if we have to adapt our message with the language to the
Yes,
audience that we
to
want
the
to
national languages, no? To the languages from different places to convey the right meaning on heritage, let's say.
Yeah. We have to create message very tailored to our audience. So we have to talk like our audience, and the second layer is that we have to adapt this message to their culture. This is maybe the more difficult part, because the meaningful for the people maybe will be different from yes, depends on the cultural and yes, and they are from. So we have to take the main idea is we have to make a tailored message to the audience, and after the second layer is adapt the concept to their culture. For example, maybe in the culture that we want to impact, they put the value in your, you don't know, in some character, in some future in a specific, and we have to know this information and 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 boost this feature, because we know that this feature have more impact to this audience. I don't know if I explained very well, But
No, it's very, very good. Thank you so much. No, it was just curiosity. I have to warn you
yeah,
that I'm quite curious, but the good part is that I still want to learn every day new things. And in this field of cultural anthropology comes also the heritage communication, and I'm teaching business communication, so
okay.
it's very, very important to on the one hand, to learn something new, and after that, to adapt the strategies to the business, even with heritage or tourism. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, okay.
Hi, this is Matteo Fici
Matteo.
from Palermo. You see me? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me, I will start the video. A moment. Okay. Okay, good afternoon.
Good
Yes, I
afternoon.
want to say that a few years ago we made a method to create experiences, okay, which we used in physical places to learn the future travel and motion designer to create their experiences. Then the idea was to transpose this in an app, because when you have to create an experience, almost always you are not in an office, but you are in a physical place outside, outdoor, correct? Yes. So we thought that it was very useful for the travel and motion designer to have a guide in an app. And it was very difficult 3 years ago to do this, but today it's very easy because we have a lot of AI which helps this. Okay, so I think that in a few years we will have a lot of very good skilled travel and motion designers, and it will be very difficult to compare one with the other. Yeah, you agree with me?
Yeah, I'm very agree with you. Every time will be more difficult to compete because there are more content and value content. This is the problem, because every time the content are better, and this and the technology democratizes,
Yes,
and
yes.
and it's more easy to create something for all the people, not only for the technicians.
Yeah.
This is
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you, Matthew.
I think we have a question on the chat.
My
I
question
think it's
is,
gonna
okay,
be the last one.
Theodora,
Okay.
okay. My question is, did you integrate somewhere in your content this world region of gastronomy title? If yes, how did you do it? Sorry, Catalonia was world region of gastronomy in. I visited Montserrat in International Institute of Gastronomy, Cultural and Tourist platform meeting last year, and I saw the video you created in the hotel. Yes, was in the hotel of reception. Very well created and promoted it. My question is, did you integrate somewhere in your content this world region of gastronomy title? I don't know exactly if we put this title in the content. I think that we put this concept, but not this title, in the social media, um, in the hotel of no in the profile of Mont Saint Benet, because Mont Saint Benet, they have 3 or 4 different profiles on Instagram. So we watch what is better to communicate through every channel, and so we publish this maybe in one Instagram of in concrete, and also through newsletter.
Okay, I think we should wrap up actually this session, and I would really like to thank you everyone for joining us today and for your participation and questions. I hope you found this session valuable. A special thanks to our speaker, David. Thank you so much. If you'd like to share your LinkedIn also in the chat in order to receive some further questions. This is for everyone. If you have any follow-up questions, feel free to reach us out. Before you leave, I want to remind you about our next session, which is next Wednesday, and the title is Value Proposition Development. So yes, this will be held on the 13th of May. And that's all for us for now. Thank you again for your time, and I'm going to see you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Gracias, David.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.